minutes are on time. Okay. I call the January 6, 2026 Committee of the Whole meeting of the Glencoe Park District to order. Lisa, please call the roll and take time. Here.
Here. Here.
It is our practice not to address any questions at this time. However, we will take comments on your advisement. Are not, so we can move on to the business for tonight. Can we have discussion on the potential lakefront operational changes? Director Collins will continue discussion and presentation of information for potential changes to the lakefront operations 2026. Yours is not plugged in.
Not plugged in.
No, his is not plugged in.
While we're waiting, we also have Adam and Shannon here today, if you have any questions for them when we talk. So obviously, this is an extension of discussion we already had at the last meeting. So we're going to go on and try to make some decisions. And if we can, if not, we can always table stuff if you need more information and make decisions later. So we'll throw it over to Bobby.
Yeah, good evening, commissioners. So we have the whole presentation from the last meeting. We can refer back to any information you may need or clarifying, but just want to start with the first question that we had. Does the board want to extend hours of operation in season? So Memorial Day through Labor Day. So that would be before our regular operating hours or after? And if so, what time would you like to extend hours to?
So reminder, we are open from 10 to 7
7.
currently.
Yeah. Does anyone have thoughts on extending by an hour? I think we talked about the pricing was in the 5 figures somewhere, right?
Yeah, I can go back to it here. So
I think it's like
so it's
9,000.
just 9,000 for that extra hour.
Low, so
It's 8,000 just before FICA, and including FICA, just over 9,000. So every additional hour is going to cost about $9,000. So we had talked, I think there was a little bit of consensus going towards adding an hour to 8. It used to be 8 o'clock before the minimum wage started to go up, and we pared that back as a kind of cost reduction measure.
I mean, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you guys think?
I think it's a fine idea.
I'm in support of the 8 o'clock. I think that knowing that we used to have it, I think that it's actually a nice extending it till 8, especially having those lifeguards there till 8 when it's still sunny in the summer from 7 to 8. And especially just thinking about how more of our families are both working and how now that COVID's, kind of gone by the wayside, people aren't working from home as much. They're being called into work more. I think that it's it would be nice for especially working families who can't go to the beach with their kids during the day. If they go at dinner time, they know that there's still going to be lifeguards. I think between that 7 to 8, I think they're probably still wrapping up, between especially 7 to 7:30. So I was thinking about that with the extension of time, especially because we did used to have it.
Okay.
How do you feel, Jackie?
Sure.
So I like the idea. I question if it's something you need every day. Because when I looked at the cyclicality, it seems like we're busiest from like Thursday to Monday. So is there any reason we would have to have it during the week?
I think it's, personally, I hear you. I do think for consistency, and especially if your reason is working parents, then they're going to use it on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I always think it's just like simpler to have a simple schedule for scheduling. But I hear you. There was a point where I was like, I wish that we would have single day passes on when it's below 70 degrees. And I was reminded of the complications of that. I mean, I do, like on the weekends,
Right,
like
I get
if
that.
you want to do it,
Yeah.
you know, but then there's complications of it.
Yeah.
I like the extra hour, and there's one other reason I like it. And that's just with my marketing hat on.
I think it's a great idea for 1 year. You can assuming the weather's good, you monitor it, you have the numbers, whether it's really worth it or not.
Yeah.
I do have a question though. I didn't see any kind of revenue expected from this. Is that something you don't expect or you have no idea or?
We would have, well, we have daily fees, so there's a potential to have increase in daily fees. Season passes, no, unless we raise the season pass cost up, like say $5 a pass, then we could recapture some of that.
Yeah,
The
I,
nice thing is
yeah.
that you can end up telling people, because we're going to raise fees anyway, that you can tell people, not only we're raising fees, but we're having extended hours. So I think that that's what I was going to say. There's like a little marketing component.
Yeah.
Yes. That's where I was going with the marketing component
Right.
behind it.
people are a little more reluctant to pay for the full admission fee at 6, 7 o'clock at night. So you won't necessarily see huge amounts of dailies. I think you'll see more passes being sold. And just to clarify, if it's 70 degrees in June and the temperature's dropping quickly and it's 6 o'clock, we likely won't stay open till 8 o'clock. We'll be very careful of taxpayer dollars. If there's nobody going to the beach, it's empty, we'll close early. That's kind of our operating procedure there at certain temperatures. But on those like 85-degree days where we're expecting people, those are the
Yeah.
days we.
It's very nice to have that flexibility. That's huge.
Yeah.
And Michael's right, it's consistency. It's really hard for us to market that, oh, these days we're gonna stay open till 8 and some days
Yeah, no, that's a good
7.
point.
It's really hard to do that. So we recommend if you're gonna do it, just do it to 8. And then like Bobby said, we close, which means that we take off staff off chairs after admissions. It's still open as a park, but we don't have staff on there. So we do those adjustments throughout the year.
So it sounds like we have more or less consensus on the extended hours, which I think is good. Thank you for all the work to calculate incremental costs and bring it to us. So I think it's a good win.
So everybody's in agreement to maybe raise the fees $5 for
Um,
season passes. Also,
Is 5 the recommend? Right now it's 38.
What do we- what do we
If it was like an even 40, that might
Yeah,
be.
it's 38 and 76. So I think we had put in a temp in the budget, just preliminary as a draft, a 3% increase.
and what does that turn out to per pass? Do you know off the top of your head?
39.
Yeah,
39?
yeah.
So if we raised it to even 40, do you
It could be
think?
40 and 80.
I feel like
Putting it
Maybe
out
I'll
there, there is something called the left number bias.
There is,
Um,
there absolutely
and
is.
there's a big
There-
difference between 39 and 40 in
Mhm.
people's psychological minds.
You're right.
So I personally, I mean, it's $1. I don't
How
care.
many
I
passes do
don't
we
feel
sell?
strongly either way between
Yeah.
39 and 40.
Just
I would keep it
Yeah,
at 39. just-
6,000.
6,000. So it's $6,000. It's $1 is a big deal.
Well, you're assuming there's
Yeah.
no.
assuming the elasticity
That
is.
they'll
supply and
buy
demand,
it.
there's elasticity
Yeah.
there.
No, I understand. I'm just saying people, yeah.
I think you also have to, the value proposition with the daily fee, just bear that in mind
Yeah.
too. So suddenly if the daily is better value than the past, people
I understand, yeah.
play that. So
Yeah, I would keep it under $40. I'd put it at 39. It's 1 year. I think we take a look and see and.
Right.
Everybody agree, consensus?
Agreed.
Okay,
So the second part of that question, we had discussion whether we wanted to add beach ambassadors after we close. So they would be staying at the beach. They wouldn't necessarily be doing a huge amount of rule enforcement, but they could call public safety, clean bathrooms, stay on top of the cleanliness of the beach. There was some additional costs associated with that. If we were to keep them there until 10:30, it would be about $13,000. If we were to keep them there just after midnight, it would be about $22,000. Some other North Shore beaches do have this model. They report that they're good for like cleaning and staying on top of garbages, but there's not necessarily a huge amount of rule enforcement that they're capable of. They're limited in their role. So question for the board, does the board want to add beach ambassadors after regular operating hours, so after 8 o'clock at night?
What's our goal for that?
Yeah. I have
Yeah,
the same
I'm
question.
still
What-
not sure. Yeah.
Are we responding to like a specific?
Yeah, some concerns about people using the beach in the evening and rule enforcements.
My question is, you guys have been here for a while now. How different is it this last year than it was 2 years ago, excluding COVID, of course? How different are these after hours?
it's not, honestly, it's not really different, and we haven't seen a increase in calls for unsafe conditions or anything. So it's no different than the last 13 years I've been here, to be honest.
What I think the difference is though, I think the difference is, and this from conversations with you, I think the community is different. And the expectations are different. I will reserve my thoughts for another moment, but
I'm happy to talk.
the goal, I think the goal of it is, there is optically, there are people that believe that we need this
I understand.
out there. But I personally don't think it's been much worse. I don't, I think
In
what you're gonna
season.
end up doing, I think what you're gonna end up doing is I think there's probably some kids that go down there at night. They will find another place to go.
Yeah.
They will go to Watts Park. They will go
Yeah.
to Bryant Park. They're gonna go somewhere. So, I don't think they haven't caused physical damage.
Okay.
So for me, it's like, I'll say, I don't think it's.
Is it a
juice
problem
worth
with the
squeezing.
people who are on the beach or people who live around the beach?
I don't think it's been any more of a problem than it has been.
In season, and we're talking just, right now, we're talking
In
in
season.
season.
I know about
Yeah.
in season, a different
Yeah,
discussion.
this is in season.
I think what's the issue, it's a perception issue.
Yeah.
So like the perception is if people are down there, it'll deter, fill in the blank, whatever is floating through the
Yeah.
perception.
No, it does.
I'm kind of with you, Michael. I struggle with what are we hiring these individuals for and what are they really going to be allowed to do? Because they're not security guards.
No.
They're not police.
I think
I think that
I
the-
think
the-
we're all in
the-
agreement. I don't think this is worth it. I actually don't think that, I mean, from the concerns I was hearing, I don't think anybody's gonna be happy. I don't even think
Yeah.
that they're gonna be happy about this. Like,
Mhm.
I don't,
It's not
I
gonna
don't-
solve the
I'm a
solution.
no for
Solve the
this.
problem.
I'm just a no for this.
I'm a no for it because
Yeah.
All right.
I don't think it's I don't think
Well,
it's a
off
problem.
season's like
And
a
you can
totally different thing.
always-
I don't, the ambassador thing to me
It's just not the.
is
same.
just not the solution.
No.
But that's just
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
Again, they're not,
I
they
agree.
can't
I vote
enforce
no.
anything. I think we're just
Exactly.
paying someone to
And I
walk
think
around and observe.
It's also a weird profile, right? You're asking
Yeah.
someone to be present, pick up trash in first, it's like, you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
It's a bathroom.
we don't really have any security even when we have there. They're mostly high school and college kids. And no one's really enforcing, maybe a perception, but there's not much. It just, things happen a little worse at night sometimes, right?
Bathroom attendant at a fancy restaurant that's there
Mm.
to sort of, you have someone there with a fancy shirt on
I can call.
and people don't ruin the bathroom.
Oh,
Right?
we actually close our bathrooms in season after
That's-
8 o'clock, but.
that was not-
you know,
that was not-
So it's not even bathroom attendant.
That was not. But it serves, like the bathroom attendant, the restaurant
Yeah.
serves the purpose of
Right.
making sure that the place, that people police themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's that opposite.
Yeah.
But if you don't need people to police themselves, I'm okay not doing
Yeah.
that.
I agree.
It sounds like
agree.
most of us are on board.
I say
with
no.
that.
I agree.
Okay,
Okay.
got a no for that one.
Great.
Thank you. That's great feedback.
It's very helpful. So the second question we wanted to talk about was changes to the admission model. So right now it's passes are 7 days a week, on weekends only, and dailies are allowed on weekdays after noon. So if you wanted to go to the beach on, say, a Tuesday at 10 a.m., you would need a pass. Is there any appetite from the board to change the current admission or season pass model? That might be allowing dailies every single day or changing the time at which they're allowed.
I think that the history of this was a fairly extensive discussions on a compromise as we've switched over from pre-COVID, mostly daily passes to post-COVID, mostly season passes, but trying to give flexibility. I think it's a good question you're asking. Does anyone feel strongly about this? Anyone want to start the conversation off on, should we change it? And in general, like, should we change it, yes or no? And then what should we change it to?
My understanding from talking to Bobby throughout the year and from input from the lakefront advisory committees, it seems like this has been good, the model
Yeah.
that we have now. So I don't have a proposal to make a big change.
Yeah, it is not the revenue maximization model. This is the community,
Correct.
Yeah.
community benefit model. And I think that's the question we should ask ourselves. To me, I'm fine with the community benefit model because we do have ways, and I'm really appreciative, Bobby, of the efforts that you've made to extend some of those passes out to the local libraries to give
Mhm.
people opportunities. But I think when you're talking about, there are options for everyone. Someone can get an $80 pass as an out, or $78 pass, excuse me, and get some guest passes for their friends. I think, I think this works. Sounds like you do, Meg.
I haven't reason to think.
I don't see any reason. I think it works fine. I agree with you. Like if you run the numbers, it doesn't maximize revenue. The numbers person in me is it's kind of irking me.
I know, just remind yourself that
Yep.
our fireworks,
Right.
and our 4th of July is also community engagement, not revenue maximizing.
Yep.
And we have to
Right.
remind ourselves, I hear you,
Yeah, I know you know what it,
I know,
but I also think if this maximizes community value,
yeah.
that I think is more important than the revenue maximization.
Yeah, you're putting your public service hat on, not your
Right.
business hat.
Right, yeah, no.
It's hard. These are
Yeah,
hard hats
like-
to switch.
But I do think if this is the model that historically has maximized the community value, I think we don't change it.
Agreed.
Okay,
Great,
well, we are moving
Guys are
along
ready.
faster than I thought we were gonna move.
we
along.
are.
We're gonna hit a roadblock soon.
We are, yeah.
Oh.
The third question was related to the Northbrook agreement. The board had consensus at the December committee meeting to continue the reciprocal agreement and directed staff, so we don't have to answer that question. The next discussion was around the swim zone and the size of the swim zone. We had talked about expanding it and what the costs associated with that and some of the risks and benefits of that. So our question to the board is, does the board want to expand the current swim zone?
Remind me, by expanding it, we need to hire another lifeguard, correct?
We would. We'd have to add an additional tower, which is that additional expense. And also just to bear in mind that boater launch area limits how far north we can go. So that's that space between the green and the yellow really is the expansion point.
You're talking about
Um,
50 feet.
And then we would be limited because of the wind direction and the size. Butting right up against that does cause some potential risk issues with boaters and paddleboards and kayaks going in the swim area.
How much clamoring is out there for,
It's probably one of the number one comments in the survey. People want us to expand it significantly. We obviously, we can't go any further south because of the issues with the pier and you get some currents around there. So really the only option is to expand it north or to shorten or lower the size of the boater area. But we would probably get 25, 30 comments in the survey every year.
The one thing I will say though, so I saw the comments too. From talking with the boaters, they do have concerns. And I don't think that, you know, they're not vocalizing those concerns in the comments because it's not a issue yet. But I get the sense that there are some strong feelings on the counter side as well from the boater group. They're just concerned about
I would agree.
running into the swimmers and stuff if they creep in.
And I also wonder if when people ask to expand the swim area, they mean like really expand it. They mean like go all the way through the boat launch area. So it's like the incremental effort might not even.
I would agree.
do we have a sense of why? Is it for the swimmers or is it for people to have more space to hang out and play?
I think it's both. They want more place to play for
For
sure.
the swimmer, this won't make a difference going north. It's gonna, they're gonna want to go east, 70 east, yeah.
I think it's also, if the lifeguards say 2 phrases consistently, 1, it is don't throw rocks, and 2, it is please swim in the swim zone.
Yeah.
And so we are kind of reminding our constituents of the fact that our swim zone is small every time we do it. So I wonder if that's where the comments come from. I think, look, I think we are,
Boulder demarcation.
yeah, we are blessed with an incredibly beautiful asset that is resource constrained.
Yeah.
And I think this is one of those things where it's a little bit like the rocks. Do we love the rocks? No, we don't. But you know, to me, the juice is not worth the squeeze in expanding our costs.
What was the
For a
cost
larger
again?
swim zone.
What was the cost again?
We did.
Because you have to have 2 lifeguards.
All right,
Just
there.
under
You had one
15,
lifeguard, right?
$15,000.
15.
And you've got
wait.
the boater concerns as well.
And that would be with our current hours. So if we extended to 8 PM.
Oh, true.
Increase.
Yeah, that'd be a slight
Which,
increase, correct.
How much are we, how much is the expansion percentage wise about?
It's about a 75, feet increase, so that's probably, so it's not a lot, so a 30,
10%,
30.
right? Because you're at
yeah.
200 by 50.
10%?
You're at 200 by 50 now, so that's 10,000? Is that my math right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're talking about
10%.
not a lot.
Yeah.
Um,
That's what I was.
Yeah.
And you can't go further east because of the safety?
And you
Yeah.
can't go further out as well.
Correct, because we have to be able to reach them within a certain time frame. So that becomes a challenge too.
And we can't go closer to the pier because it becomes, that's the danger zone.
I have a
Is that a
question
procurement issue?
with the, because the feedback,
House issue too,
when I
yeah.
saw it, it just said like, would like it expanded.
Mhm.
Do you have a sense as to, is it because of crowding or, because when I've gone down this summer and previous summers, I've never seen like, a really true crowding where you
Right.
can't like have fun and swim.
Compared
do
to
you
like
have
a
a
pool.
sense- Yeah, more as to why they want it bigger?
The comments I saw were that they wanted more space. There are also a lot of people who remember the days when there was a raft out there and you could swim out as far as you want and you could swim out to the buoys. Unfortunately, with risk management these days, that's just not gonna happen. I think the expectation if we were to expand it would be we would double it going out and double it going north, as one commissioner already said. So I don't think we're gonna reach the expectations of some of those people with what is possible.
10% is not gonna do it.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of
Either
people
it's-
a lot of people compare it to, you go to Southwest Michigan, you go
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
Florida, and there's no swim zone. So you're like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I can go wherever I want.
I think that's probably really what people are saying.
Yeah,
Like you were
Say,
restricted.
why are there any restrictions?
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah.
And they can do that in the off season when there's no lifeguards. So
Right.
I think Michael's right. It's a perception again, is, because I've been to the beach and I've been in the no swim zone and I remember getting in trouble and I remember my kids getting in trouble all the time. And you hear the, oh, you can't swim there. Oh, you can't. It gets annoying. I'm not gonna lie, it does get annoying. But when I look at it now from this lens, the incremental doesn't justify the cost or what we would really be getting out of it, I don't think. Because I think it's exactly what you're saying, Bobby, is it's not just moving this way, it's literally moving in every direction, which is, I don't think that's realistic.
no, I think what would make people happy if that whole beach was a swim zone,
Yeah,
that would make people happy. But we know, no, that's not reality.
no, it's not.
then we wouldn't have enough room for our boat or launch
We
area,
will,
right?
we would not. We
Is the
would not be
red
able to-
not swim zone because of safety? Is it
I'm sorry, Commissioner, say that
red,
again?
the red, you can't swim there because of safety?
Yeah, with
The
pier.
red area.
Yeah.
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 That's where most of the rip tides, our rip currents will come
Okay.
around
Oh, okay.
piers.
I was
Mhm.
wondering, I didn't know it was there.
Yeah.
Well, we can just not have a boater launch. Sorry.
Not sure that would go down too well.
Sorry.
That is not.
Not one
part of the-
problem.
And Gary, I'm not get elected.
That was Gary.
Phone's not on, is it?
So I think we're hearing consensus that not to expand the swim area.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Right, question 5, the courtesy cart. So the board came to consensus not to extend the level of service for the cart for next year.
Will
Uh,
that stay open for an extra hour though?
It will not. It will stay the same hours till 5 o'clock unless special requests for ADA requests.
Okay.
Next will be around discussion around rocks on the beach, which we also hear a lot about. The consensus at the December meeting was to provide additional educational signage on that the rocks are naturally occurring.
I think we should.
I am excited for to see what Aaron puts together in terms of doing that.
Yeah.
And we could do, like, we don't have to necessarily put a plaque there. You could just put a QR code, like, want to learn more about rocks?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll work out something.
You know,
Good.
we
I
thought about
agree.
that. We thought about that for, we did put a QR code
did.
at,
On
We actually did.
free rocks.
at
Yeah.
Booth,
Yeah.
not Booth, at the
Sprinkler.
Yeah.
Frank Lloyd Wright House,
Ravine Bluff.
We did, yep.
right?
Ravine Bluff.
I mean, the difference is when you're walking on the beach, you're not gonna have your phone.
Yeah, you could do,
Yeah, we'll work on a little
actually
school
think you could
sign,
do
we'll
like a-
work on that.
for like a kid's thing.
We'll
Anyway,
talk about rip
Yeah.
currents and rocks and natural occurring.
I am excited to
Would
see
you
what
have gotten
Erin
it
comes
signed?
up with. She's been a marketing guru for many years and yeah.
And-
And Bobby, now let's talk about Labor Day.
I mean, those rocks have been
But-
there as long as Glencoe's been here, right?
They have.
No, I know, that's what's funny, is if
Yeah.
it's natural.
It's a natural occurring.
It feels, you don't realize they're coming in and out and out.
Right.
Some days are not there, right?
And well, they go down to Wilmette and they're like, why do they have
Yeah.
sand? Well, they're in a different topography than us. So it's,
The
I can
coral
see their
drift.
point. They just don't understand. Then they go to Michigan, it's all sand. It's just a different
Yeah, it's just
topography and.
luck of the
yeah.
draw. Okay.
Mhm.
Yep. Question 7, discussion on operation changes after Labor Day.
Okay, we want to keep in mind when we talk about this, that we're about 95% sure that after Labor Day, we will close the beach for the season. And construction fence will go up and there will be no after season this year. So we want to keep that in mind, and we will have part of our construction budget, someone there Friday night, Saturday and Sunday, on nice days, probably in September, to prevent people from jumping over the fence, because we could see that happening when work's not going on. We could see people trying to scale that fence. So we will have, someone monitoring that in our construction budget. So
Well,
put
that's why I wonder if this one, I mean, we can have discussion about it, but I wonder if it might be a good idea to punt this, get another year of data. To
Mhm.
see, is this, again, we've had 2 warm
Right.
Septembers. We do have this nice gift of, not gift, but like we can have 1 more year of data. And to continue to talk about it. I mean, I'm happy to talk about it right now, but I just.
Yeah, I don't mind getting more data. I think, um, I think there are things that we can do without investment in brand ambassadors or however it is that we want to keep the season out. I think, we do need to clean the garbage more at that
Right.
park. We do need to make sure that the lawn is mowed and that,
There wasn't any question about.
But
mowing.
no, my point is,
But yeah,
my point is that like, we need to make sure that we maybe put in a little bit more TLC in the operations of it. Make sure that the porta potty is serviced, the one by the tennis courts, things like that. I think we can do. It will probably,
Up above, because that'll remain open, right?
Yeah,
It will be open all the time, but
we
it's-
increased the
yeah.
porta potty, so Kyle can talk to this.
Yeah, it's really a matter of service intervals. So I think we had it this year, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We can always bump that to do an additional cleaning
Yeah.
over the weekend. There's an additional cost, but we
That
can.
I think be
big
smart.
little things like that. In this way,
Yeah.
also I'm putting my marketing hat on. We can tell people, hey, look, we take your concerns seriously and we are going to invest in keeping this up and
Yeah.
operating it a little bit.
I
And
do
then
have a
what we'll
que-
also do is that maybe on the weekends, because we have a crew here on the weekends, right, during the summer?
Yeah, summer months.
Yeah,
Yes.
we could do like a garbage cleanup, because we already do it in the morning, every morning
Yeah.
after the night, we have a crew going down. We could increase the garbage pickup maybe in the middle of the afternoon before they leave for the day
Yeah.
on
And-
Saturdays
yeah.
and Sundays.
And have them
Is that
start at
possible?
Friends Park and then go down, because Friends Park garbage is during the summer, during peak summer is also the challenge. But I think that would go a long way.
Is that possible,
Yeah.
Kyle?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
My question is, you mentioned earlier that you could, with cold weather, if it's supposed to be cold, you can cancel some staff out. Now, can we do the opposite when you see it's 75 or above in September? Can you add on?
So,
So let's have Bobby answer.
Yeah, that becomes a little bit of a challenge because the labor pool is so limited in the fall. Really, if we are going to do that, we're going to have to commit to hiring somebody and guaranteeing them hours. It just is so difficult. September, October with sports and with people, and if it's a 6-week gig, it's really hard to find people. What we could do is surge with contractual expenses, which become a little bit more expensive, but it means that the place gets cleaned. I will also say that if we are adding a seasonal bathroom that can be used in the shoulder season, that is going to significantly change how the beach is used in the fall. People will come down knowing that there's a bathroom there from Lakefront Park. Highland Park, I go there a lot because I live in Highland Park. They have bathrooms that you can use in the shoulder season and they're used heavily, but they eliminated a lot of those issues with those bathrooms. There's additional expenses as well because you're going to have to clean those more on busy days. But I think that renovations to the sun shelters, the trellises, and the inside of the beach house that's usable in the fall will significantly change. I think we'll probably be having some conversations about the operation of how do we make sure we're meeting the expectations of the community when that happens.
I think what he touched upon, I think is really the more important question, which is once all the renovations are done, what is the demand going to be for the beach?
Mhm.
And then how are we going to operate differently to meet that demand?
Right, because we will have nice bathrooms that
Correct.
will be open up to the shoulder season, so we will have to probably look at
Yeah.
at off-season maintenance. Well, so the maintenance budget will probably have to
Yeah.
increase at that.
And I think Lisa and I and the staff talk about this all the time. I think it'd be helpful for the board to consider what level of expectations do you have? Do you want it to be A plus, A minus, B minus? Like what level of service? We can do anything. It's just going to cost money. So if we say we want this to be a country club, perfect, the bathrooms are never going to be dirty, we can absolutely do that. There's just going to be significant cost. we had some similar conversations with the board in the past about levels of service with baseball, and the board came to, you know what, we're quite comfortable with a B level of service for baseball. Having a pulse on what the board feels is the condition that the bathrooms or the beach should be at, that will be helpful for us to know, so we can set expectations with budgets and let the board know.
I know this is a little bit maybe challenging, but when you say significant extra cost, what are you referring? What are you thinking off the top of your head?
I wouldn't speculate. I'd say Kyle maybe have an idea with the cleaning in the fall.
Well, and
A
it-
versus B.
one-
Yeah.
And we'd have to come back with those
That's what we have
numbers.
to do is we
Yeah.
have to decide what level of service to decide how much it is. Because if you say A, to me, that means there's a bathroom attendant always cleaning up after everybody, empty
understand.
garbage. Is there 8 hours a day or 10 hours a day on a Saturday, Sunday in the off season, Fridays? There's someone always there. B may go down and we have someone come 3 times a day to clean and empty garbages and stuff. So that's the difference. C,
Because-
maybe it's just morning and night, and D is only morning. So
Yeah.
that would probably be the
I
difference.
don't know, this is just me maybe, but I don't see why if you're staying open extra month, why we can't raise our fees to compensate for that. I mean, you're staying open an extra month. I mean, it just says it's an extra month, this is the fee that you're.
But we won't have,
Oh, there's no lifeguard.
there's
I
no
understand, I
lifeguards, there's
understand
no
I
attendant.
understand that, but someone's
But
maintaining it.
you're- There's still a cost to the park. I
Yeah.
think I agree with Gary. There's something in the middle where you don't have full service because there aren't any lifeguards. But we're making all of these upgrades and we want to take care of these upgrades.
Mhm.
So it isn't just about the service, but it's about taking care of what we're making this big investment.
Correct.
And so to me, there's
Yeah,
a
we're in
two
agreement.
part to that question of a service component, but an upkeep component of what are we willing to pay for the upkeep of what we're making this big investment in?
Correct. That's what we're saying. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just say exactly what we have.
But-
And do you want to recoup any costs on that? Which means then there's additional cost of having attendants to collect the fees also and manager. So you're not talking, now you're going from having a cleaning service there or someone there to clean to now a manager and a attendant and the cleaning service to collect those fees.
Someone has to collect because someone else is paying a full season, you think? Is that why?
Well, because in off season, no one pays right now, right? It's
Right.
free. So even beach pass holders, so you
Interesting
can't
point.
really charge them. So you're not getting any revenue in the shoulder seasons.
I would imagine if we charge in the off season, that's also going to deter people from coming.
Especially when there's 5 other beaches that are free. Yeah.
Good. But then you also have to remember that, okay, so now you have 3 more people there that we have to pay a salary for.
Right, and they're not,
and-
no one's spending any money.
And then we're going to do a fee and then
Yeah.
they don't come, I don't know.
There's an
just-
essence
I'm
of
not-
some
I'm not-
cost
no one
that we
comes,
have to
nothing.
assume.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, yeah.
yeah, Yeah.
I think,
yeah.
okay, I think it's,
But
I mean, I think it's a tough thing for us to figure out because we have not necessarily collected some data on it. I'm wondering if
Right.
what you would think about another year where maybe we do like some spot checks or something and look at it and get some data.
Well,
that way.
I'm just going to play devil's advocate. We can't do spot check for data
Yeah.
for attendance because obviously we're closed because of that. We can do data check for weather and see how the weather pattern, without a doubt. Yes.
The weather, I also do think that we do a data check for cleanliness on the bluff. If that's going to stay open. Because maybe that's like if it's an indicator if we have our 85-degree day and then the porta potties are overflowing or whatever.
Well,
then
that I
we
hope
know
to,
that there's
that I
still
hope
up-
to overcome with extra cleaning.
Yeah, we
But I'm
can,
wondering, like, I'm trying to figure out, we can look at the weather, we can get the cell phone data, right? So we
Yep.
can get how many people are down there.
But no one's going.
But they're not, they
Yeah,
can't go
no
down
one
there.
will be
So
going
that's the
down
Oh,
thing.
that's right,
Because
sir.
we're closed. So that's the thing. We're not.
We are
collecting any
going to
data.
have to make a guess for the first year that we are just going to have to make a guess without full data one way or the other or halfway in between
Yeah.
or whatever. And then we're going to have to learn, there might be tweaking after the first
Yeah.
year. I think that's what it'll end up being.
Could we ask the other park districts to see what kind of incremental visits there were after they made renovations? Highland Park, I'm
That's
thinking,
a good idea.
yeah, and Lake
I
Forest.
think we,
Like Rosewood Beach.
Yeah,
After a significant investment.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that the significant, Rosewood is a good example. Went from pretty much a no beach to a significant beach. So they saw a lot of traffic there.
Yeah, that changes everything.
Yeah.
but they
change-
had
yeah.
hardly, they didn't have the traffic we already had, right?
Right, we've had ours for a long time. where Wilmette had a pretty significant investment in their beach house. I think they spent $8 to $10 million on their beach house in the last number of years. And the data we saw was not a significant increase in attendance. It stayed pretty steady. Anecdotally, anytime you renovate a facility or park, you're going to get more traffic. You
Especially
always,
the first year.
especially the first year. We saw it with Duke. We've seen it with Weinberg. That's just anecdotally, we know that's going to happen. So just to expect, and if it's new and shiny. The other anecdotal is people take care of new things more than they do that run down things. So like if things are nice and neat and clean, people are more likely to take care of it. There's been a lot of studies around that. But if things are more run down, people tend to take care of it less.
I mean, to me, the most likely thing people are gonna come down and use is the water park. Like
Mhm.
the sun shelters, the fact they're nicer doesn't really do anything, and then and the building really won't even be open, so it's like, it doesn't really matter if it's nicer, but the water park will be available.
I'm gonna pay a little bit devil's advocate on that, that I wouldn't call it a water park, what we're
Water park
putting in.
will work.
Compared to the spray parks that you see at post park districts, it's a lot more features. So while our features are great, and I think there'll be a draw on the people that tend to will love them. I don't think people will flock there because there's a new spray park there. That's not their definition.
We
of
get a
it.
lot of people using the sun shelters in the
I
shoulder
was gonna say,
seasons.
Dinner
Mhm.
time, I do
Yeah.
think,
Oh,
Okay.
absolutely.
I think
You
it's
will
gonna be
get-
more popular.
And you will get that first year,
Yeah,
you're gonna get a lot more people and then it's gonna
yeah.
go
That
down.
makes sense.
We're gonna want to see it.
Makes
We're gonna want to be part of it. Like,
Um,
so I mean, it sounds to me like no one here, and I don't want to put words in people's mouths, but it sounds to me like no one here has a real appetite for currently exploring sort of after season man hours
I disagree with that.
at that point. Oh, you do?
I do.
Okay.
I feel like I think this weather is gonna continue this way.
Okay.
I think when it's bad, it's really bad, and it's embarrassing for our town and for the people here. So that's the problem, is when it's bad, it's probably really bad.
Yeah.
No bathrooms or really dirty bathrooms are not acceptable.
Well, the dirty
You know.
bathrooms, I think we're gonna, no matter what, the porta potties, I feel like we've kind of gone
No,
over that.
I
think for the
want to
bathrooms
manage
downstairs-
expectations there too, because on the weekends, I don't know if they come.
But we could do weekends, there'd be additional costs, but we can have them come on the weekends. We'll
but
just
I
have to,
think Yeah, I think.
we'll
we
just have to
do that.
update our operational budget to account for a weekend cleaning.
Like a Saturday cleanup, yeah.
I think that's worth. the
I just
money.
want to make sure.
Yeah, I don't think we have a choice
Okay.
in that one, because that one, you hear
We
it.
need that.
But
I-
like
yeah.
the bathrooms on the beach, if we keep well, I guess what is the proposal that you think you would like?
I have no proposal right now because I have no idea what the costs are.
Yeah.
That's why I was trying to get the little idea. That tells me everything. That
I
shows
can
you,
see the
A,
ARV,
B.
yeah.
and you see what the return is. And obviously some years it's gonna be worthless because we're gonna have a really lousy.
Yeah, it's an insurance.
Right.
And then other
right?
times, but I
Yep.
think our town, I think September, at least through mid-September generally, I know from my business, pretty darn nice weather and
Yeah.
it's, definitely beach friendly most of the time.
I-
So
I
I
agree.
think having a bathroom open and having things be clean is just a no-brainer at this point.
But I thought
and
the
expectations change.
bathrooms were gonna be open anyway and clean. I thought you were talking about actually.
No, we're talking about, we're talking about what the level of service of clean is. So this is what I propose, if I'm hearing and repeating back, is that you want us to bring back what level of service and what we think those costs would be. So if, for example, if you want a spotless bathroom all the time, this is A, and this is what's going to cost us.
Mhm.
And this is, we're only talking about the shoulder season, so that month of September,
September.
right?
Right.
Because we're already taking care of it
Mhm.
during the regular one. And then we'll bring what B and C is. And so that will help us determine the cost, and you can see how much that would cost to do in the month. Really, it's the month of September. We're talking about
Yeah.
October. We usually
Oh,
lock
end
it
of
up
September.
anyway.
Even the first 3 weeks. of
Right.
And are we
Yeah.
are we just talking about bathroom enhancements, or does option B have like and lifeguards and cart?
I
and-
don't
and-
think it's-
okay.
Oh,
No,
that's
we're-
not feasible,
We are,
right?
well, that's what I was,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
we
Oh,
are
that's good.
literally just
Yeah.
talking about what can we
Bathrooms
do
and
to
garbage.
bathrooms and garbage,
Yeah.
Right.
option A, B, C for that.
I know this year it was heavily used in September because the weather was beautiful.
Yeah.
What was the feedback you were getting, the complaints in a sense? What were you getting? What was it mostly about? Was it about garbage? Was it about people just being there? Was it about?
All the above. Garbage, traffic, a lot of people on the beach.
When
it
you say
was-
traffic now, help me out here. Is it the people who live nearby, the people who are from Glencoe are going there and using it and seeing a lot of people with them?
We don't know. We don't know. It could be people, both Glencoe and non-residents coming in. A lot of people drive to our beach.
We don't get more traffic problems in the month of September than we do in August or July? Or do we get more because of free beach? Is
Yes,
free parking?
exactly.
Yeah, we had higher
During,
attendance.
during the season, we have season pass only. So you are getting far, far less traffic
Got it. So it's
in
because
the
people-
season because of season pass.
We had
Yeah, there's
800.
Phone paying city, so,
Yeah.
and I was there
850.
physically,
Mhm.
it was just, it was hard to drive on the streets.
Yeah.
Sundays were
Um,
850 people on average went to the beach. Why during the season, I think it was closer to 500.
And that's just phone pings, not including kids.
It's a
Yeah.
40% increase.
Mhm.
Right, and this is where I was going with, if you want to charge a fee to recuperate some of the cost, it'll be a natural deterrence. People will, in the off-season, choose not.
Yeah,
to
then you
go.
have to, staff the, that's.
Correct, then you have
Charging
to
the
staff.
fee means
Correct.
the beach is open. And so then it goes
Correct.
back to that question of,
Yes,
you can't get lifeguards because the high school kids are back in
right.
sports.
You could do like a nominal fee if we, well, I mean, that's what I'd like to see the cost.
We could bring, and we
If
can
the
bring
cost
that
look like a
too.
lot,
This is
but we
what would
still think it's
cost.
worth it, we could
Yeah.
say, what if we charge $5? Would that recoup, like, what would that look like? Would we recoup
Yeah.
the attendant or whatever?
We could bring that, we could say, okay, if we wanted to charge a fee, this is how much it would cost for staffing, knowing that we'll just bring those costs to you, and knowing that it'll be, now the attendance isn't a high school student, now it's an adult, so the fee goes, that
Right,
it's,
right.
so we'll, err on the side, the high side, hoping maybe you get lower, but we'll bring all those costs back to you, because like I said, we don't have to make the decision today, because this is probably
Mhm.
your point. The only thing we would, if we bring it back sooner, is if we don't think we're going to start construction right away, but we're right on line to start after Labor Day. So, so we'll bring that, the level of service and the cost of that. And then if we want to charge fees, what would that cost?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I do think the fees, if we thought about charging fees in that off season, I do think we need to, I think they should be less because we're not providing lifeguards. I just
I
think the
think-
expectation needs
I
to
would
be.
agree with that. And I think Derma would appreciate that too, because
Yeah.
we're showing this to different, we're just charging for a different level of service, which
Yeah.
is just access to those amenities
Mhm.
we have, but not lifeguards. I think that would
Yeah.
be a prudent way to do it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we could still say if you have a season pass, you get in free
Right.
during that time. It would just
Right.
be those level. So, okay.
I did have one question, somewhat related, but to kind of get my head wrapped around, cost and service. If we're in the new build out that we're doing, where we can now rent out part of the building down by the
Yeah.
beach. Is there going to be any fees associated with that rental and cleanup?
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
So could that be a benchmark for what we could be using for some of the fees we might be charging for the off season?
Um,
Do you know where I'm going with
Mhm.
it?
Yeah. Like
well,
if we know what our fees are for that maintenance or.
For like
or
a
cleanup.
trellis
trellis
rental.
rental, do you mean to use those trellis, the money we're making trellis to offset that cost? Well, I think we're,
Or what it costs to maintain and to clean up
Right,
after.
Right, yes.
That's exactly it. And it's just more of a benchmark, not necessarily suggesting that that's exactly what we should charge, but I was thinking about it also from the lens of we're now going to expand other services down there. We're going to rent out that space.
Mhm.
So what would it look like if we were to have to charge for just the basic minimum of the bathroom cleanup, just basic cleanup of the space?
Mhm.
And that might give us a little bit of a sense of what additional cost or what a service fee would look like for maintaining the building and the beach in the off season.
I guess I'm just a little bit confused because in season, we just use the current staff we have to do, to do those cleanups and stuff. So it wouldn't be, because they're already on staff, we already have them.
Right.
So it wouldn't be, that wouldn't be a true benchmark until we could benchmark the off season for those. In the off season, we could, but we won't have that the first year.
I got you.
Season.
Yeah,
Not to bring it.
yeah.
Who will handle the setup, will handle cleaning, do the whole thing.
Yeah.
situation. So we have a similar model.
That's a
Yeah.
good point.
the
Yeah.
cost
So we have a
is-
model of what we do
You
at
have-
Weinberg. To be very similar.
idea.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's a good point.
So it sounds like this one we have a little bit more.
We do have time and those are
Time.
really good questions and
Good.
those are good. The level of service is hugely helpful to us to figure out what the board expects us to do,
Yeah.
and that we have a standard, when baseball comes back and well, why wasn't this dragged every day or every hour? We're like, that's not the level of service we provide
Yep.
type thing. So,
How would you describe the level of service during the season? A, B.
what would you guys say? I would say during the season, up to like our 7 o'clock is pretty,
It's like an A
I
minus.
think it's a
B,
Yeah, A minus
B
B,
is
maybe a
B.
B,
Yeah.
because we don't have someone standing there cleaning the bathrooms every second. We go through and,
Yeah.
you know, every.
And we used to have a
Yeah.
beach service position, but again, with minimum wage going up,
Yeah.
we decided to use lifeguards instead and to use staff. So that was a decision we made
Yeah.
that we
It's just
didn't
a
need
way to
that.
think about it. It doesn't.
And that's
it
a good
doesn't need to
point,
be
like,
Better in the off season.
Right.
so
Yeah.
Very good point.
when you're down next summer, you can go and look at the bathrooms on the average day and say, okay, this is a B, this is what they think a B is,
Yeah.
yeah.
And an A at the beach where you have sand every time somebody walks in, that expectation,
Yeah.
It's fair.
it's
Fair. Maybe I-
unrealistic.
Do have that
I was being
expectation
generous.
sometimes.
I was being
Like-
generous.
Yeah.
I think you do a good job, Bobby.
They do a great job. I just
Good
think
job.
manage expectations. It's,
And people in our surveys, cleanliness is awful, they're standing in the locker rooms, well, yeah, it's a beach,
yeah.
so it's a little aggravating there, so.
I do have a question for this year, though.
Yeah.
It seems like it's highly unlikely we're gonna be, the beach will be open in September.
Right.
But the question is like, come June, July, if there is some delay, can we move on this September?
Yes,
quick enough?
that's what I was saying. If there is if we do see that it will be delayed, we should
Come up with a
revisit
plan.
this sooner rather than later.
I would agree.
Which means we, you know, maybe budgetary, we might have to take a hit of costs and stuff like that,
Yeah,
but we would definitely make
that's
that
fine.
change. And that's what we were talking about. We're like, if there's any reason this doesn't, we don't start construction, which would be really hard, could really delay things, then we should make a decision on what to
Yeah.
do, even if it's for a week.
Yep.
So,
When would you know by, you think? If there's a delay?
we're,
I would say June, July, we'll have a really good picture
Okay,
of
so 2
where
months to give,
permitting.
2 to 3 months to give it a
Yeah.
chance. Okay, all
which we
right.
could easily
We'll be
gear
getting
up.
that-
Yeah.
We'll be getting the ABs like that.
We'll
kind of stuff
present that
before- Yeah.
way prior to that, but probably maybe in March or April. Those are really good questions and helps us understand what the board wants.
And there are some costs that we can look over in the board packet on weekend and the ambassadors and it's
Mhm.
it's kind of on that,
Yeah.
so. Okay,
Yep.
oh, you have them up there. Good. Shit, I'm looking. Should we move on to the next?
I don't think we have any additional
Okay.
questions. So I
Questions.
Okay.
think we have enough
Well-
direction from the board on
Mhm.
the
That-
operations.
This is great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Thank the board for the lively discussion and really
Yes.
appreciate everyone's input. Okay, so Lisa, do we want to move on to any other business that we have?
Sure, just really quickly, before you leave today, we're not ready to present anything about the boat lockers yet because we are getting prices to rebuild like the boat lockers like we have now. We're getting those costs back. But if you'd like, Kyle or Bobby or Shannon or Adam will be downstairs in the lobby where we have the locker one proposal. We'll probably have to send it back soon. We don't know when they're picking it up. So if you want to take a look at that locker, just so when we start talking about the boat lockers, you kind of have, oh, okay, this is the one locker and then this is what it will look like to build. We're not prepared to give that because we're still getting pricing back and we might make sure we have everything, all our ducks in a row. So if you want to check out that locker, it's in the lobby. We are getting feedback from boaters. We've had 2 open days where they came in and any boaters could come in and ask staff questions. So we've got a lot of feedback already, pros and cons on them. So we'll present all that information probably next month and month after. So just want to check that out really quick. We have been meeting with the village and the public safety chief is here. We're not presenting anything on parking. He was just here to listen. But with the village, they're going to hold a meeting on the parking around the beach because that's their purview. And as soon as I know that date, that hasn't been set yet, I will let you know. So we are meet with them regularly and we will be attending that meeting when they have it and just to hear some ideas and ideas the village has and hear any concerns the residents in that area have. So stay tuned for that. As soon as I know that date, I will send that out to everybody. Okay.
Great.
Other than that, that's it.
Okay, well, this was an efficient meeting. Is Lisa, any reason to enter into executive session?
There is not.
So there's no reason. Perfect. Then I recommend entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Oh, who's that?
Bolso moved it.
Okay.
Second. Okay. Lisa, roll call vote.
Who was
please.
second? Who was second?
Gary was
Oh,
second.
Gary was second. Okay.
Yeah.
Just
Twice.
all in favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Both same side? None. Okay. Thank you
Okay.
very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.